Assalamu alaikum, hello and namaste. Welcome to another inspiring episode, number 99 of The Limelight. Well, I'm your host Fareen here, and today on the hot seat, we have a very charismatic personality. She is a blogger, writer, and author, and also the founder of Social Dragonfly. So, listeners, please welcome our guest, Sami Sahani. Hello, Sammy. How are you doing today?
Hello, Farheen. How are you? Thank you so much for inviting me over here today.
I'm fine, and it's a pleasure to have you on my podcast. I have been waiting for you since long to interview you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is just the perfect timing to, get together and finally do it. I'm really, really glad to be here today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Same here, too.
Okay, Sammy, before we talk about your venture and your book, can you just tell our listeners about yourself?
I'm basically a writer and I love to write. My passion is to write poetry. My poetry depicts the kind of feelings that I feel in different phases of my life and the emotions that I go through. In fact, I feel some of the things that I'm not able to talk with anybody, I'd rather write it in a form of a poem and express myself. But when it comes to my professional life, I also work with a lot of clients and I create a lot of digital content for websites, for social media, for articles, and other authors in edutainment area, the wellness area, like that.
That's lovely to know about you, and I pray that God blesses you and your family with all the health and happiness in life.
Thank you so much, Fareen. And I actually wish you the same right now. Completely the same feelings
Ye-
mutual over here as well.
Thank you so much, dear. We all need the blessings at the times like these.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, now can you just tell what inspired you to start your venture, Social Dragonfly, and also can you just tell about your poetry book?
Okay, I'll start with my journey as to how Social Dragonfly came about.
Mm-hmm.
About 4 years back, I was working as city editor for a very popular digital blogging platform for parents called My City for Kids then. Right now it is known as Momspresso. I was the city editor for them for Hyderabad. And that's how my journey with the digital world and social media and blogging actually came about, thanks to Momspresso. That's the time I actually got connected with a lot of people and beautiful souls, and because I had the job of connecting mothers in our city, and we had to write an article of a listicle where I had to list all the events that were happening in my city for mothers and children. And through that, I came in touch with a lot of people who were doing beautiful work in the educational arena, in the learning arena. That's how a lot of my networking and connections happened. Being a mother, it was always of an interest to me to know about all these things because I wanted my children as well to learn about these things. So it just so happened, with my parenting and taking care of my children and the work that I was doing, it just all fell into place. And after that, I worked with another parenting platform, which was Hyderabad based. I worked with them for about a year or so. And that's when I realized, because of the connections that I had made and the work that I was doing for them, being their community head and content creator head, I realized that I have a lot of connections and a lot of people who were outside in different arenas as well, who were designers or maybe wellness practitioners and enthusiasts, coaches, life coaches, psychologists. I mean, you name it. And there were a lot of people who wanted to work with me and, understand the social media world. I thought that it's better that I start consulting them instead of working with just one particular company. And that's when I took a leap of faith and I started my own consulting agency, and I named it Social Dragonfly because I wanted the company to do a lot of social good other than just social media work as well. And dragonfly is something which has a very beautiful spiritual meaning. It's a spirit animal, a dragonfly, which actually gives you a lot of guidance in life, and it shows you the right path in your life and towards what you should focus in your journey. And that's how the dragonfly came in. And it has been guiding me ever since. And whatever phase the social dragonfly and the platform has taken right now, I think is through the same guidance and the vision that I've seen starting the company at that point of time. Currently, it has also evolved into a community of about 7,000 plus women who are entrepreneurs and mothers and, just homemakers or professionals and small business entrepreneurs all together. It has also become, Social Dragonfly has also become a platform where I help women to come and promote their brands and their businesses in a very, very mindful way, where we are not doing this just for the social media sake and to, just project pictures and numbers and likes and followers. I actually want to promote good work and people who are doing genuine work and they want to come up in life and they don't have a platform where they can, showcase their work and the products and the businesses that they're doing. So I'm hoping in the future I'm able to do that as well through the platform.
Yes, that's true. Okay, tell me more about your poetry book.
Okay. Actually, 10 years back, I lost my mother and I was very, very close to her. So she was more like a friend and a soulmate for me at that point of time. So it took me a very, very long time to get over the grief of her. Because in my day-to-day life, I was pretty normal because I had my kids, my family, my husband, and everybody, and the work going on. And I was trying to go through normal life as much as possible for a normal human being. But the process of grief is such that, you cannot keep talking about the grief and the sadness every time with people around you. It is very difficult to do that. So I realized that I was able to express the grief and understand the emotions and the pain that I was going through while I started writing my poetry. So that's how the poetry came along.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly, slowly, I realized each phase of my life, be it motherhood, be it work, the basic spiritual growth of a person, it all started expressing itself through the poetry and the words that I would write down. And like I told earlier as well, whatever I cannot have a normal conversation about at times, there are so many emotions and so many feelings and so many things a human being goes through. It's just difficult to talk to somebody about it sometimes. So I found the best way to express it and also process it and understand what am I going through and, how it can help me heal and how I can grow as a human being. Poetry helped me a lot. And last year, it was going to be my 40th birthday. So I decided to give myself a little gift and I put all the poetry that I had written 10 years back. I collated it in one book and I self-published it and I gifted it to myself. It was more like a personal project, but I'm really, really proud of it because it was something that I wanted to do before my 40th birthday and I did it for myself just before my birthday. And I met a few friends who were really, really supportive that I was doing this for myself. And they really encouraged me and they just stood by me that, I should just go ahead and publish my book and helped me in whatever ways they could. And yeah, that's the reason why the book got published. And it is more like a memoir, it's more like a spiritual journey and a very healing and a personal growth journey that is in the book right now.
Wow, that's so lovely. We have to do few things just for ourselves to sometimes make us happy and to keep something as a memory.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that is one gift that I will cherish for years together now. That is something that's going to remain in my memory that I did that just
Yes.
for myself.
Now, just one more question. How do you balance between your family and work?
I think that is something all mothers and all women go through. There is a social dilemma that all of us have, I guess. I work from home, which is a major, major advantage. So I've been working online and from home for about a couple of years now. So I usually used to step out only for meetings or if I have a client that whose work I needed to understand or, we need to understand how they want to go further with the strategy that they need to do. I would go only for those meetings, but most of the work was done through my home office at home. So I have a little space that I've made for myself at home. and I just work through that. And I make sure when I'm in that area, I'm only doing work and nothing else. Earlier, I would work only during the times when my children were in school. So they're older now, so their school day was a little longer than when they were younger. So I had about, from morning till 3:30 to myself to work completely and devote my time completely to meetings or to work. But now, due to the coronavirus times, it has become an actual juggle and an actual challenge, I feel, to do that with their homeschooling and, making sure, because my daughter is a little younger, I have to be around her during her classes. So now I've started a lot of time management, and I work only during those hours when I know that I'll be free. And I don't really have to sit around her for homeschooling and all. So I just take a few hours where I really just block that time to work and nothing else. So that's how it's, I think, more about time management now. And even the children are a little older now, so they support that, I'm working for these hours.
Right.
And they cannot disturb me. At least, like, if I have a call to attend, that then they know that the half an hour, 1 hour, they cannot come in the room and disturb me. So that's happened. Yeah. So I think it's basically time management skills, and also making sure that they know that this is the time when you're working, and they cannot come and take that time away from you from your work. So those boundaries have to be clearly established in your personal life. But yeah, also the work that I'm doing is much lesser than probably what I would taken earlier. Life is like less hectic because there's no commuting anymore. You don't have to run around the city anymore because it's not safe to travel that much out.
Yeah.
So whatever time you can get now has to be very well managed, because you have household chores, you have kids, and then their studies. And then you just know that this is the time that you can devote to a call or to a work project. Or I'm also taking classes right now. So, I'm doing a course. I'm training to be an expressive arts therapist.
Nice.
So Saturdays go for my classes. So that's another day when the children know that, I cannot be disturbed the whole day because from 11 to 5, I have my classes. And that is their chill out day because they have no online classes that day. So it's kind of like, again, time management for both of us and all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it is challenging when you have to work from home, and these days kids are also learning online. Now, after all these serious questions, I have a fun segment for you called the rapid fire round. Okay, I'll be asking you three random questions which you can answer in one word or a sentence.
Okay, great.
Okay, my first question is, which is that one compliment and the best compliment you ever got?
I think the best compliment I've received is for my words and not my looks. So I will cherish that as well. So something I had written and somebody really appreciated it with beautiful words.
Okay.
And it's a lovely feeling to be appreciated for your brain sometimes, and not just how you look as a woman.
Oh,
so
yes.
It was lovely. So yeah. So that is one compliment that I will always cherish.
Okay, that's lovely. Okay, my second question is, if you had to choose between power and money, which one would you choose?
I think both of them I would not choose, but if it has to be power, then I would rather use the power to control my mind and my emotions as to how I deal with my life and the struggles that I have and the work that I do and the emotions that I deal with in a daily basis. So I'd rather use that kind of power. And if it's any other power where I have to control other people, then I wouldn't want that as well.
Okay, you want the power to just control yourself and not others.
Yeah. It's how, we live the life at the end of the day matters, actually, right?
Yes, very true. Okay, my last question is, tell me about one cosmetic or a makeup item you use every day.
I think my serum. I have this organic biotic serum that I use every day. And that's about it. I really don't use too much of makeup. And with the mask wearing and everything, we've forgotten completely how to use makeup. I would just probably use some kajal and the serum that I use every day.
Wow, lovely. I think that is the secret of your beauty. Because I've always seen you, you look so pretty.
Oh, thank you. Now that's another compliment I'm going to say now.
That was the end of the rapid fire round, and your answers were amazing.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely doing that.
Good.
Okay, now we have headed to our last segment where we ask your advice for our listeners.
So my only advice to all the women out there would be, follow your passion. And what is that one thing that you really want to do right now? So now is the time to get up and do it. It could be art, it could be dance, it could be gardening, it could be theater, it could be singing. So please go ahead and do it, because this is the time to go and follow your passion and follow your dreams and do some things for yourself, because that will be so fulfilling that you will cherish that for years and years to come. So there's one thing that you should always do that for yourself, because we have so many roles to play on a daily basis, as a mother, as a wife, if you're working as an entrepreneur or whatever professional work that you're doing. So we already have so many things juggling. So please just do one thing just for yourself, so that by the end of the day, when you're older, then you know that at least I did that for myself, and I'm really, really satisfied with the way I lived my life.
That was a perfect advice, and for every woman, man out there, they have to have a purpose in life. And Sammy, I have to thank you for taking out time from your busy schedule and doing this interview with me. Thank you so much, dear.
Oh, it was a complete pleasure, Farheen. I'm so, so happy that you invited me for this, and I'm so happy that you did this in such short notice. I'm really, really grateful to you for this opportunity. Thank you so much, Farheen.
You're welcome, dear. Okay, listeners, if you have liked this episode, please click on the like button of the Limelight page. Do subscribe us on YouTube. Also subscribers on Spotify, Anchor Podcast, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. And thank you for listening. Allah Hafiz.